Good night and welcome to the CM Kozemen live stream. Hello, everybody. 52 Shark can't wait. Greetings from Germany to you too, my friend. 8 people watching. And we are live at the end of another week. It was tiring, but in a good way, and I hope you're doing well too. Hello, says Golden Arrow. Hello, says Dylan Wolvers official from Catalonia. Hello, says Baccara. MTGBT says all tomorrows reached me yesterday. Well, it's going to be reaching a lot more people soon. I can't believe I am saying this and I am living in these days, but it really is happening and people are getting their books. Just yesterday, on the 6th of November, there was a UK launch, and that means you were able to buy the books online for a while, but now you can actually go to a freaking bookshop and you'll be able to find it, which is just incredible, especially knowing that I am not really from there. It's just a great sense of achievement overall. Dude, I'm perfect. Got a signed copy. Well, signed copies are over, and there's the demand for them is so high that we actually, with the publisher, are thinking about flying me back out there to the UK now to sign a whole bunch of other copies. So stay tuned. But yeah, with or without my signs, the book is a really nice work of publisher's art. It's got extra stuff in it, like essays on how the book was made and sketch sections showing, well, 20 plus year old sketches and a lot of rejected creature concepts too. And I know that, like, when you read a book online and when you read a book as a real book, you get two different sensations. Like, when you read a real book, you really notice things you didn't notice when you were looking at it online. So yeah. Now the night is young, and I'm going to leave you face to face with some of my recent commissioned artworks. I'm still doing commissions. If you're on the Rewatch gang, you can commission me for art, and I'm drawing an alien ecosystem for a patron now. So here it is. I'm going to leave you staring at this for a while, and I'm going to go get tonight's refreshments. And yeah, I'll be with you very, very soon. Let's see if this can stand up. Okay. You enjoy this, and I will be back. Look at that nose. Yeah, it's a bunch of like wimby pimby creatures in an alien ecosystem. And yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. If you get on Patreon, you will be able to see the finished artwork. So yeah. Be right back. Please call your friends, let everybody know, and make yourselves comfortable. I'll be like 2 minutes making coffee and shit. I'll be right back. Yes, it is snack time officially. Well, hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's a cold summer night. Well, it's not a summer night. What am I saying? It's a cold winter night. Sorry, my brain is addled. I, my brain is addled by the amazing joy of having 27 of you in the house. Yes. Do you like the Predator series? Says Krina. I like the first two movies. The others, I'm not a big fan of. Apparently, a new one is out today, the fancy Predator Badlands thing. And I'm curious about the alien creatures there, but I honestly, I'm not really excited to see how it's going to go. I wasn't a huge fan of the Alien Earth series either. I think Disney is kind of like repackaging Alien into something less dark and more like teenage friendly, which is okay, but it's just not my cup of tea. 52 Shark says, do you know H.R. Giger? Do I? I got a signed book by him. I have his Necronomicon up in my library. Sıvacı Mahmut Usta says, let me see what snacks you got. I have the best for winter nights, the Wefa Boza. For the uninitiated among you, Boza is, well, a sweet but spicy cold liquid. I think it's made from, um, mainly it's made from semolina and some other yeasts, like, I don't know, but it tastes wonderful. So I got this, I got my coffee, I got my cookies, and we're good to go. The Boza thing I really recommend. New form of CM Közemen, says Birhat Gitar. JM Coelho says, I got the book, locked out and got a signed copy. Well, lucky you. The import duty is almost double the cost, but it was worth it. Yes, that's the pain most people not living in Western countries have to endure. While the English speaking West. The boza is way thicker. You're meant to shake it. The consistency is like this, and yeah, with like this like white thick liquid, the jokes kind of write themselves. But it tastes wonderful. I'm gonna finish the whole bottle with you tonight. Redmer says, good evening. I would love to have reviews of the first two Predator films from you, says Bakara. Good idea. Maybe one day. Robotipi, good online and real life friends, says, hello and good night. Be careful of too much sugar, don't crash out. Well, I'm just gonna like ride it up and crash down, and when I crash, I'll be going to sleep. Kuro Minami says hello. I call you Boza and raise you some yerba mate, says Golden Arrow. And Redmer apparently bought a cool poster from my merch store. which is in the links and the pinned comment. Yeah. I'm going to get a glass for this load of goodness because, well, I can't just chug it like a bottle of Hennessy. What am I? Like the Zulus, they had on bows and arrows. Yes. Sunfieldation. What kind of music do you like? A lot of different music. If you go to my playlists on this YouTube channel, there's a my favorite music list, which should give you an idea. I mean, one day it is a Turkish folk singer, the next day it's Limp Bizkit. I was recently, just before the stream, I was playing. There's a band named Hole. It's led by Kurt Cobain's, well, ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, that lady. She's almost as talented as Cobain himself, and it's a pity why they didn't form a band together. And the song is called Credit in a Straight World. And the intro to the song, I think, is like the nicest 40 seconds sung by a lady. And I will awake your highness, I'm so high I just cannot walk. And I will awake you cripple, you take away my time, my peace, my empathy, no babies born, sleep on atrophy. Well, I kind of butchered that intro. Your unborn love and fettles dress my bitter candy fated list. It's a lovely, like she channels one of those ancient goddesses when she's singing it. Go have a look. I can't play music. First, because I don't know how to. I'm a boomer. Also, I think YouTube snips it when I do that. Golden Arrow says, Hennessy, okay, I called it and raise you some absolute. Look, alcohol and I don't mix. Just fucking don't mix. Yesterday, I actually had an online party with my publishers, and we were celebrating the UK book launch. No, I had one beer, one can of beer, okay, and like in the morning I had a hangover. The night I couldn't sleep properly. Half of today I was like slow. I finished this drawing, so that's good. Let me actually show you how these drawings are made. So maybe in the future, if you commission some, you can see my process. So you see all these different elements, they're drawn by hand, but they're composited or digitally. But still the colors are just black and white. So like this legged creature. So by the way, let me tell you about the brief. It's a world of like crystal trees in a place with little sunlight and very resilient creatures that can retract into their shells. And there's also an intelligent species that resembles tiny isopods. So they build these structures. They can also build machines, but they're too small to be illustrated. So what I did was I drew the landscape first, just the tree and the turtle creature, which looks like this. Like this is the real drawing, okay? And this is like the technique I use to render the fine lines. There's a nice thing. So when you convert everything into black and white, if you use like a sepia color, the lines become actually thinner. So this was that. You notice there's like a ghostly hint of another alien here. So how I do this is I'd make the little drawing on like a sketch pad, scan it, enlarge it to A3, and then print it with 10% opacity. And then on the printout, I draw again, this time with more details, like so. This is the tree. The creature, the tall creature, I have in another sheet. And I just like, I cheat a little, I clone these details and flip them, such as the leg and everything. So, and then put it back together like a puzzle piece. So that's how it goes. You notice I didn't like the eyes of this alien. So it was like this. I didn't like the eyes a lot. They look too repetitive. So I actually want to have like a patch of skin there, no eyes. So I did this. And I also made a diagram for the thing in the lake. So these are the little intelligent isopods. But because this is going to be like a scientific diagram, so there's going to be like an arrow pointing into the lake with the magnifying circular frame. And then this thing is going to be in it. But of course, I'm not going to give a fuck. I just drew half of it, clone, flip, then move the legs a little, cut and paste them. You got yourself a complete drawing. Still, though, like I go between digital and ink several times. And it's just like a really nice technique. Ultimately, it's like all made by hand, but it has the crispness of digital technology, but not the incoherence, if you get what I mean. Are they having war? No, they're just hanging out together. And this isn't complete. If you follow me on Patreon, you're going to be able to see the full illustration. Snyad or commission, asks Robotipi. This is a commission. It's from Robert Reed's Great Ship Universe, which is a great science fiction series. Also, we had our Republic Day, the Turkish Republic Day, well, 1 week or so ago. And the flag is still up. And this is like the national half month in Turkey. Because I think in 3 days, we're going to have the death anniversary of Atatürk. So it's a big, important, and sad national day. So the flag stays up. So there. Happy late Republic Day, says Robotipi. Oscar the Awesome says, what if this is all a social experiment? He's just a guy on Craigslist paid to make art for some guy's spore thing. As long as like I'm paid, I'd gladly draw your spore creatures 24/7. I wouldn't mind. Golden Arrows alcoholism adventures continue as he says. Pen on paper is actually so fire for commissions. Shame I spent all my money on raspberry vodka. I don't know. Alcohol is all overrated. Domino 9142. The amazing profile picture says hello. Hello, hello, hello. Ingram says, I love the hand on the turtle creature. Yeah, we actually nicknamed this creature the hazmat turtle. So he looks like he's wearing a hazmat suit. But he actually has 6 legs and he's a hairy boy. Less irritating says, hey. I bet that Biskrem hits hard with Boza. Yeah, it's got a major hit. How did you get into writing books, says 52 Sharks? I actually wrote a lot of books about, well, like Jewish history in Turkey and stuff before. Like those were my real books, you know? Let me show you my website. Okay, I hope you can see this. So these are my books. I have like, well, a lot of books now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, and more than 15. My first my first official book was All Yesterdays, the dinosaur book. And we wrote it with John Conway, my friend. I did most of the writing. You just write stuff. And when we were working on this book, John Conway told me that perfect is the enemy of good. So we just had to rush it, and we had like a deadline. Even though we didn't have a deadline, we made up a deadline and tried to follow it. So yeah. And then after this, there was a contest, which was like a fan art contest for All Yesterdays. So a lot of people sent their artwork, and now that's there. Like, go to my website, cmcosmo.com, go to the books tab, and you see them all. But like my first like big independently published book. So like we also had the Cryptozoology Con with John and Darren. These books we published ourselves. My first book, which was published by like an actual publisher, you know, there was a contract and there were copies and stuff like that, was this one, which was Osman Hasan and the tombstone photographs of the Dönmez. Very long story short, there is a group of ethnically Jewish people living in the late Ottoman Empire who converted to Islam but actually didn't and maintained their strange Kabbalistic religion. Surprise, I am a descendant of those people too. And in their tombstones, they have an artist named Osman Hasan who made really beautiful paintings. So this was an archive of like this guy's paintings on these tombstones. And it was like a book of historic research and like visual history. So like this was my first actual book. It really came out from a publisher. You could find it in like bookshops at a limited number. And I think until COVID, I was really like certain I was going to be doing research books like this. There's an art sketch. I did another book about the Bodrum Jewish Cemetery. Again, archiving and cataloging the tombstones there before they were wiped out. But they weren't. But then I made this book, which is a great one. So I understood I was getting too deep into Judaica. And even though I actually won a history award for the Tombstones book, even though that was going well, I wanted to branch out into other forms of visual history and visual research. Um, so I did this one, which was called The Disappearing City, and it's an archive of hand painted signs and urban details in Istanbul's old apartments. There's all sorts of details like, I don't know, like doors, windows, like architectural, vernacular details. This was a crazy book. It took me 10 years to put together. And it has 2 volumes and over 1,400 pages. So this was like a work of a lifetime, and we could not publish this today because the printing costs are so high now. But I'm glad we did this, and it's become an archival work. In fact, I'm gonna show you something really cool. There's a website called World Cat, okay? And this is not a website about cats. It's a book about a world catalog of libraries. So before all tomorrows, my aim was to create an academic impact, and we sold way less copies, but they got into prestigious places. So, for example, if you search for my Disappearing City book, here you go. You see that it's in the collections of Columbia University, which is an Ivy League school, and then UC Berkeley, and they're in permanent collections. So this is like a high honor, as a guy writing from Istanbul or Ankara or wherever. This is a very, very high honor. And same thing with like the Osman Hassan book, for example, the Jewish cemetery photograph guy. Osman Hassan and the tombstone photographs of the Dönmez. So, yeah, like in the present day and age, maybe this might raise some protests, but it's in the National Library of Israel. A lot of universities in Munich, it's in the Bayerische Staatsbibliothek, which is the Bayerisch, like the state library. It's in the National Central Library of Zurich, in Leiden, in Qatar, Harvard University, Columbia, Metropolitan Museum as a copy. Who else? Who else can claim this? This is such a nice like rush, Who else can say, "Oh, my book is there"? Okay, 27 libraries have it. So this is really great, and yeah. So like the same with the same with the Bodrum Jewish Cemetery book. Once again, it's in the National Library of Israel, American University in Cairo. Oxford has a copy. Who else has a copy in Oxford? Such a good feeling. Harvard, Yale, Theological Seminary of America, Columbia, NYU, Cornell, my alma mater. Ah. So like this is such a nice flex, huh? 52 Shark says this is actually amazing. Big things always start small. Well, yeah. So I was always thinking like I would be like this very niche and academic publisher, but then fate had other ideas. Let's see if All Tomorrows is in any collections here. They have the Unbound edition listed, but I don't think it's been acquired by any collections yet. No, it's not. I don't know. Like apparently, I have no idea. First of all, this is really weird. It says Macmillan published it, but then apparently a library in Sweden has it. I don't know. But anyways, that's that. How did you get involved with Jewish stuff? Do you have ancestral connections? So look, here is one myth I really need to lay to rest. If you have like any sort of Jewish connection, which genetically I do, I shared my genetic tests in the last stream. Go watch it. It comes out 75% Ashkenaz Jewish, and the rest is Western Mediterranean. And I think Anatolian is just maybe, I don't know, 6% or something. And I was walking around with my camera and doing dinosaur books. Then I noticed I can archive things with my camera. So I actually made the Osman Hasan book first, and then sent like a lot of copies to different publishers. And the publisher that picked me up was Libra Kitap, which is this publisher. It's a Turkish company. It's a Turkish company that publishes Jewish history books for the international market. And so I had these like I made these connections. It's not like if you have like a Jewish background or whatever, it's not given to you. You find it and you cultivate connections. Like you don't come with like a like a Jewish modem in your brain when that happens. So I did not have ancestral connections. Like, I mean, my family personally, they're not very book oriented at all. My father published a few photo books because he's a photographer, but like it wasn't any of his connections. I found this myself. I also found All Tomorrow's, well, Unbound and Wilton Square. I found them myself, and it's actually like one of my greatest like signs of, well, one of the things I feel the best about, because I don't like, I like having, I like being able to do, having been able to do all of this with my own, you know, with my own two hands. But of course, I mean, my family was in some ways really lucky. They supported these endeavors. But I was financially independent since I was like 23 or something. But yeah, it is what it is. So you weren't born with a tiny kippah, I understand. No, my name is a Muslim name. I consider myself, here's what I always say, like, ethnically Jewish, secular Turkish citizen. My name is Mehmet. When I die, they will probably bury me in a Muslim cemetery. So yeah. Flowzone says, are there still active Dönme communities? Yeah, there are. If you're curious about this, go to my book section and get this book. And yeah, get this one. Just a second. Where is it? Huh. So after I published the Cemeteries book, a member of the Dönme community came to me with his life story and documents. So I helped write his biography, and like, this is the book if you want to, like learn more about the Dönme or the Shabbatayim. But yeah, that is that. Did you enjoy the Travis McEnery YouTube channel? Says Baby Botfly. Man, I have to thank you so much. It is part of my breakfast jam now. This is the channel. Could you actually be Travis McEnery? Narrator says, greetings, my brother. We are watching you with love from a state university dorm. Thank you, and all my love to you too. So Travis McEnery is this spider researcher, a really crazy guy. Also a really smart guy. I mean, these are his videos. I really, really recommend everyone go bookmark it now. So like he has these like 40-minute videos about like a specific kind of spider, and like he runs experiments with them, and He doesn't hurt them. He's very informative. He's a great speaker. You really learn a lot, and there's just something wonderful about spiders. I'm a huge spider fan, actually. Actually, you know what? Travis McHenry was in one episode talking about spider books, and he talked about one of my favorite books, The World of Spiders by W.S. Bristow. This book, which is incredible by all respects, spider lovers rise up, says Lucas. Yes, rise up. So I love this book, and like Travis McHenry's channel is like, well, if you love spiders, you're gonna love that channel. So go subscribe. Love spiders, says Bakara. Love spiders, love arachnids, hate mammals, simple as. So this is a great book, by the way. I mean, the writing is very accessible, and it was written in the 1950s in this like really inimitable British style. So like he's talking about daddy long legs spiders here, okay, and the illustrations are great too. And he says, I zigzagged across England, ostensibly seeking rooms in hotels or lodgings whose ceilings I viewed with nonchalant interest. My apologies are no doubt due to a host of hoteliers for gaining entry under false pretenses, but in the result, their unwitting cooperation enabled me to draw a map which showed. So he was drawing a map of where this spider lives, this thing. It's the famous daddy longlegs spider, by the way. So he visited like motels without staying in them to chart their distribution. So yeah, it's like such an eccentric guy, and the writing is both technical and also very accessible. So I strongly recommend this one, and the art is wonderful too. I mean, here's a page of like jumping spiders in action. Very, very nice stuff. Baby Botfly says, I wish I could be a sun spider slash humanoid lady. Well, we all have our body dysmorphia options to choose. Daddy long legs are everywhere here, says 52 Sharks. Onur T says, recently in the stream after your Hasan Pasha field trip video. Yes. Okay, I'm going to put this back and be right back with you. Mantis is back. This bitch was AWOL for 3 days. She was lost somewhere in the house. Now she's licking water off my hand, as you can see here. Oh, she's actually biting my flesh too. She's very hungry. We're gonna give her some more water, I think, because like she's very thirsty too. She disappeared somewhere. I don't know. She was like she has a plant she sits on all day, but yeah, for some whatever reason, I know where she went to. She goes under a heavy bookshelf, by the way, and stays there. I don't know. During the full moon, everybody's acting up, especially the ladies, like the mantis here. Gnome's child says, "Watch your back around her." What? Oh my god. Let's see if she has some. Hadi gel. Gel. Get some. Hmm, I wonder if she liked the boza. Hadi be. Hmm. Sussy droplet. Come on, it's the boza. For Christ's sakes. Is she pregnant? Says Lexus Galavan. Yes. The child is not mine. She has been pregnant for some time. She's gonna clean herself now. Hope she gets that drop of water too. So here we have these like nocturnal moths and stuff that come over. And if I see one on the window, I'll feed it to her. Such a lovely creature. Throw43 says, "This is the first time I see your face. You look exactly like how I pictured." Well, thank you. The mantis hasn't eaten boza. Yeah, because it's a semolina based, plant based thing. Even though it has sugar in it. She loves prawns. Like I was cooking prawns and spaghetti, and the freshly cooked prawns she just loved eating. Does she hunt annoying flies? I have to do her hunting for her. Imagine eating a bowl of noodles with the mouth parts of a mantis or a katydid. It would feel so interesting. Well, it would be like it won't be really much different from eating noodles, but you have to eat them sideways. I'm looking in case there's a bug on the window, then I can present you with a gory spectacle. But I guess no such luck. You should cook some mante for your mantis, says Shupiluluma. Ahahaha. Very nice pun. You spoil her, says baby. Blood for the green god. The green god is like very happy licking my fingers at the moment. Lucas Evangard says, "Show us her devouring a bug." I mean, if there's one that's really accessible. Does she have a name? I feel Giuseppe would fit her. No, Giuseppe is a man's name. Plus, I just call it Mantis. It's just like. Oh, is Green God her name? No. Would be cool to see her eat a bug. Okay, I'm gonna drop her. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the windows in case we have a nocturnal visitor. No such luck, ladies and lads. Let me try another window. No, sorry, no bugs. No bugs today. I'll just give her some water and at least she'll get her nutrition that way. Samurai Mac says, I got my signed copy yesterday. Are you ever worried you'll step on her? Says, ah. No, not really. There was a scrapped Mantis character in A New Hope. Yes. In the original Star Wars film, just a second. They had like a lot of like joke shop alien creatures for the cantina scene, and one of them was this thing called Yamri, which was just like a huge mantis, basically. Hmm. So this is the mantis alien. Literally, it was like a Halloween decoration, and there was a man sitting in this area, pulling the strings to operate her, and that's the magic with old film, though. You see, film has this grainy texture, and it kind of like levels everything into itself. So, like something like this joke shop mantis alien, it looks credible because everything else has the grainy film texture. With digital filmmaking, everything is like glossy, but like digital elements stand out, and everything is like so well defined, but it just doesn't have the same magic. It would be terrifying to sit next to that thing in a bar. Maybe. Fepasaurus says, when is the All Tomorrows release for South America? I think it's gonna be out in the United States in December 16. Then I think you'll be able to import it, depending, provided that Trump doesn't attack your country. At the time of recording, they're talking about like a sort of military confrontation with Hugo Chavez country. Where's everybody from, by the way? Let's do a roll call. There's 41 people tonight. Good number. Where's everybody from? Where's everybody from? Where's everybody from? Tell me and the Mantis where you are from. Joseph is from Long Island. Bakara is from California. Robotipi from Turkey. Kilibak from Istanbul. Şüpülülüma from Sarıyer, a suburb of Istanbul. Fepasaurus is from Brazil. Onur is from Antalya. From New Zealand. Slothman Prophecies, I love that name, from Florida. Fazili Gündür from Azerbaijan. Flowzone from Deutschland. Gnome's Child from upstate New York. Lux Aterna from Lithuania. Baby Botfly from California Republic reporting in. Pega from Brazil, and Lucas Evangard also from Brazil. Rise up. Ingram is from Mexico City. You guys have one of the most amazing archaeology museums in the world. I hope I can visit someday. 52 Shark was born in Kuwait but is a mixed German and Nigerian national. MTG MTTG from North is saying he's from north of Cornell, which is probably Canada somewhere. Lexus Galavan is from Pantalasica. Lexus, your prints have shipped, by the way. I sent them through. If you are the friend with the same name, I sent them with FedEx just the other day. They should be with you soon. Real Gaming says, will the mantis come to my house and eat me when I say, when you say what? No, he won't. 22 IR says, one of the videos you made with the travel channel mislists the neighborhood you were traveling in. Yes, but I will address that. It was done that way on purpose. Long story short, we have this series of travel videos with another channel, the Cep Hikayeleri Turkish channel, and these videos are always in the Turkish language. And yeah, one of them says basically we're in like neighborhood A, and that's the title. Thing is, we start walking in neighborhood A and end up somewhere else, and so the title might be misleading. I'll get to that. Thoughts on Fortnite, says Baby Boardfly. Oh my god. I think watching Fortnite is like an addiction. Or there are these like big TikTok channels with like they just play Fortnite and like a million iPad babies watch them. I'm not really big on games where you like shoot each other. I don't like them. Maybe this is where I'm like showing my age, but I think that behavior is like it's not productive. It doesn't make anyone happy. Like, why should your reflex be? Why should your first reflex be to shoot each other when you're on a video game with people? And I know, like, I used to play hours of like shoot 'em ups with my friends over Nintendo 64, the split screen Golden Eye. Like we had like whole days where we only played that game. But yeah, they suck up so much of your time, and like Fortnite is like a dopamine hit with I think kids. But I don't know. I mean, if you like it, go for it. Just not my cup of tea. Do you like survival games? I only like life simulators, city builders, and well, games where I can sandbox type games basically. Okay, lots of comments of I think you might like the Hollow Knight game. If it is, I can't type fast with one hand because Mantis is on the other hand. But what does Hollow Knight even look like? Oh, it's this thing. Yeah. Looks interesting. I don't know. I never played it. Have you ever played Hylix? Let's look at what Hylix is. Oh, I love this game. I haven't played it. I just know that it's beautiful. People have written to me telling that it looks like my surreal art, and I think that's great. I don't even know what's going on here, but looks like a fun game. Samuel says you should make more of your local herpetology and insect videos. Those were cool. Yes, yes, yes. I got lots of travel videos that I filmed, but I still haven't edited them. But it's been over a year. Joseph says, do you know the legendary comedian George Carlin? I do know. I listen to his stuff on YouTube sometimes. He's really good. Thoughts on Nanotyrannus being back? Okay, this is a good one. I'm looking for a good picture to explain it to you. Hmm. So there's a small Tyrannosaurus like dinosaur called Nanotyrannus. Now, this dinosaur was. Wait a minute. Let me find another good image. This dinosaur was first named in the late 1980s, I think, or the early 1990s. And then. Mm-mm. And then it was sunk into Tyrannosaurus. So they said, like all the paleontologists said, Nanotyrannus is actually Tyrannosaurus rex, just a juvenile. So it was like canceled. And this artwork is by Wayne Barlow, by the way, who, as anybody knows, is like the OG best creature artist of all time. Aliens, dinosaurs, demons, he's done it all. He's really peerless. And I remember like him describing this picture, saying that like to have the dinosaur look at the audience was something very rarely done in paleo art. So yeah, very, 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 very scary and cool image. So it was sunk into Tyrannosaurus, and they said, well, as T-Rex grows, it goes through some changes. So maybe these are just lanky teenage T-Rexes. And then some scientists really examined the bones and they examined the more recent fossil, and they concluded that actually this thing was a grown adult, and there were also mid-sized tyrannosaurs. So that didn't mean there were no baby T-Rexes, and they certainly existed and did something unique with their ecology. Uh, like this is a more recent image. It shows Nanotyrannus. The big one is Nanotyrannus now, and it's attacking a juvenile T-Rex. And like there's something different with their proportions. And Samuel says, I'm just tired about anything T-Rex related. I get more excited about Jurassic reptiles or rather less impressive but bizarre fossil critters. It's true. It's all a semantic game, isn't it? I mean, like, this thing existed, this animal existed. No matter what you call it, you could call it Nanotyrannus, you could call it T-Rex, you could call it, I don't know, you could call it Jumbu, or like, I don't know, you could call it T-Rex smack T-Rex face for all I care. Like that thing existed. And there's actually some like insane variation and like really bizarre features among individuals of charismatic dinosaurs too. That gets overlooked. I mean, suffice it to say, this thing exists. But T-Rex on its own is like a really unique creature too. I mean, it's basically got like a huge dog-like skull, and it's like really it's got stereoscopic sight, and it's a very unique animal too. Sorry if I kept bothering you about all tomorrow, says Joseph. Am I not allowed to ask questions? You can ask questions. It's just that the conversation went somewhere else, and there's only one of me. 30 people watching. And then now they said actually one of the nanotyrannus species is actually another thing which they call Stegovenator. But like the point being, with these like charismatic species like T-Rex, every specimen is like a bit unique. So Stegovenator has this even longer, almost like sports car like skull, which is really cool. So this is what the Stegovenator skull looks like. Here you go. So the skull has been cracked so it looks longer than it is, but even with the distortion, it's got like a really longer and smooth, almost like sports car like skull. Lexus Galavan says, I want to see nanotyrants spitting venom. I think that's likely, but okay. Let's see. Oh, it's so nice to have this mantis back. Spinosaurus went through many reimaginings. Yeah, actually, go watch my latest video about it. I talk about strange French paleontology cards, and there's a section about Spinosaurus there too. Oh, pleasantly tiring night. It's almost 12. Wow. How time flies. I hope in the new All Tomorrows you put the names of the worlds and planetary systems and their maps each species colonizes, and what happens to animals and other life they bring into space. Like, there will be some of that. There will be some of that. Is the mantis hunting? The mantis is definitely hungry. She's looking around, and like, it's a pity there are no bugs here. I mean, I have my isopod colonies, but they're citizens. I can't feed a citizen to another citizen. They're members of this household. Mm. No, not the isopods. Yeah. Are you a star person? No. This week, I was this close to making a video about Hasan Piker. This will be Hasan Piker through a Turkish perspective. And, this guy is involved with some drama. He's a famous Twitch streamer who's like a bourgeois bohemian socialist. And he's spitting out some little lies that people are calling him out on. But I think there are points about his, like, there are points that he makes which I think are interesting, or like somebody in the US needs to make them. But yeah, you remember your interview with Cleo Abram? She's so pretty. I did not interview Cleo Abram, no. I hope that in the new All Tomorrow, says Real Gamering, there will be a clever allusion to this very niche species called frog, which would be a huge boost to the frog enjoyer community. There will be frog people, I think. Where did Cleo Abram? Who is wait? She mentioned me. She mentioned my work, but there was no interview. Yeah, she is a very popular social media person with a very long neck. So Hassan Piker made a lot of claims, including one, I did not shock the dog, and then that dragged on for a while. He's famous or notorious in the US for having said the US deserved 9/11, which was, I mean, like, why would you say this? Like, why would you be a traitor to your own country? Your own country being the United States. Now, in the US, we talked about this before. There's always a niche for a person who humanizes the enemy and maybe doesn't propagandize for them, but at least shows that they're like flesh and blood human beings too, and like gets America to question, why are we killing these people? And like such people have been around since the Vietnam War. Um, Jane Fonda, for example, was like famous during the Vietnam War for talking to the North Vietnamese and stuff like that. And I think Hassan Piker could have like used that humanizing perspective far more efficiently rather than just making like shocking claims and like surfing the controversy. And like in some ways he's just the kind of guy that America rewards. Minado says, hi, where can I find mantises in Turkey? I literally found this in my balcony. Literally in my balcony. Just back there. Like American viewers must understand, like also like I want to tell, because he's begun to put all Turkish people in a certain light, and I don't want that. And so I want to tell everybody like what kind of person Hassan Piker is from a Turkish perspective, but I don't want to do this in a way that would attack him or his family. But just know that this is what you're dealing with. What are your thoughts about Anzujamu, once the most followed Turkish cosplayer? Look, as a rule of thumb, cosplayers are very problematic communities wherever you go. Any country, wherever you go, cosplayers have some drama, to say the least. Lots of drama, says RoboTP. Yes. Dan McAleer, good friend, says, was the mantis so calm around you from the start? Yes. Now she's eating my fingertips. She actually recognizes her reflection. Hop. And look, she's afraid. There's a giant mantis. Oh no. Does it hurt when she bites? The trick is not to flinch. Do you let other critters roam through your house, or is the mantis she's very stationary, like sits on the same plant for days. But I don't let the isopods or the other bugs roam. I actually have some like daily chores with these isopods that I would like to do on stream. I basically have to like cut leaves and bedding and like give them crushed eggshells. And it's just this kind of task I can do on stream as I talk to you guys. But now this bitch is like hogging the spotlight. Hello, beautiful lady, says MGBT. Hey, sexy lady, I like you so. Your body's shaking. Out of control. How big are the isopods? Okay, everybody wants to see isopod care. I can't put this mantis down though. Maybe. Huh. Like, it breaks my heart when this thing disappears for a day. I can't believe there are people out there who would like electrocute their dogs just for show. Not all of them tolerate the cellar spiders in my basement, even though my mom. Okay, Joseph says some things about bugs. How long will it take for her to eat 1 centimeter of CM Cosmin completely? I mean, she has eaten like 2 centimeter wide stink bugs like a burger, and that didn't take long. Maybe call her Jessica, says 52 Shark, for the second time. Do you have a crush on a girl named Jessica? Would you let her eat you? I have this scab here. Here is a scab. If I've like bled, sometimes I let her drink the blood. Let's pick at the scab. This was basically a little scratch that refused to clot. This is just an innocent animal. I'm not really like romantic about it. So like, would you let her eat you? Hubba hubba. I'm like, come on. Bakara says, I vote Ackley for the name of. Oh, that was a great creature, wasn't it? From the Star Wars universe. Okay, we got some nice scab action going here. Hmm. Okay, I got some meal. I got a meal for her. Oh, sorry. Okay. Here's the blood. Drink it. Hmm, hmm. I'll answer your questions after we sort this thing out. Come on. Come on. What do you think of battleships? They're great, but also like a huge drain on national economies, no? And like I think it would be very scary to serve on one. I've drawn blood. She doesn't. You don't get this on any other stream. Yeah. Look, she doesn't want the blood. What can I do? We look for bugs. We look for everything. Hmm. She doesn't seem to be. She has drunk blood before, though. Anyways, let's get the hand wet with like, huh? Like I pick at my fingers sometimes here, and when these bleed, it's like a Coke vending machine for her. I'm gonna tell everyone about this. Well, call them, let them watch the stream. This is the only stream I stopped work for. Have you seen the trailer for Astartes? Astartes, I've seen Astartes. Is it getting a remake? Astartes is this very famous and very well made Warhammer fan animation, no? Come on. She's looking at the blood, but I don't think her feeding reflexes work. Okay, I'm gonna do one more tour, take a short break, try to look for bugs. Then I'm gonna put this mantis back and we're gonna take care of the isopods and relax. How about that? Does she not have problems because it's getting cold? And I mean, it's warm in the house. She doesn't go out. There is, of course, a time in winter when these guys just die. Bakara says there's going to be a new Astartes next year. No, I haven't seen it. I must take a look though. Look how comfortable she is. Preening on me. Yes, please, let's move on to isopods. Okay. Isn't it so nice? She never touches grass. No, she has a huge plant she's on. There's a huge aloe plant that she perches on. Oh shit. Take us bug hunting with you, take the webcam. That technology doesn't exist yet. Like a versatile camera that's like connected to the internet? No. Whatever happened to that big roach you had with the isobots? It's still there. Okay. Say goodbye. What a lovely shade of green, huh? It's called phone. Well, my brother, this is one of the few rules I have. I just don't do smartphones. Never have. And if I'm lucky, I never will. Mm. Another Kösemen win. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. Now let's take care of our isopods, huh? Just give me a minute. Gonna have to rearrange some stuff on the desk. Bye bye, baby botfly. I must be going to work. Have a nice day at work, my friend. See you. What a nice community we have here. So here's tonight's task. There's a whole bag full of like leaves and shit that I collected. Plus we have, well, public housing to build. I'll tell you about it. So these are the public housing. It's just egg carton parts, okay? We got the leaves and the bark, and we have our cities. Number one here. And number two. You are on the hunter and gathering grind. Isopod O block. Yes. And look, I got I got these eggshell, like egg carton bits, and this is what life looks like in them, you know? Happy family units, 2 or 3 species, a mixed culture. So now, like in this neighborhood, we have an overpopulation problem. Look at them. Oh, ow. One of them fell down. Yeah. Oh no, one of the babies was. Okay, I rescued it. Okay, so they also eat everything so fast. Like you put one leaf in, and I put these leaves in like literally 3 days ago. Look, they're skeletizing it, just eating right through it. Plus, I learned of a great secret, which is very useful for raising isopods. You need to give them calcium. Because without calcium, they have trouble shedding and they actually like have mass deaths. So we have to give them leaves. We have to build some public housing, and we have to give them calcium. So now here we have the houses, just plopping them down there actually. And I always have the housing concentrated on one part of the terrarium, or like the fucking box, whatever it is, because there's like a gradient. There's like, I only put water and mist it from one angle, so like there's like a gradient, and some parts are actually dry. So now we're building houses for them. So I sorted out the calcium, of course. I'm just gonna like it was being theatric. I have ground up eggshells here. Let's pour some of that. So what I do is I peel the eggshells and wrap them up with some paper and then just smash it with a hammer. Where is the coal and steel production? Have you managed the industrial? No, I'm keeping them in farming age forever. I don't want them wasting away in factories. So here we have the eggshells. It looks like this. So now it's calcium time. You see, I'm just like crushing it between my fingers and just making it rain. Maybe eggshells won't work by itself, says. I also have reptile vitamin and mineral powder, but like they eat the eggshells. You wouldn't believe. Like one day later, none of this is gonna be here. They eat the calcium, which is like super interesting to see. I hope everybody is enjoying this, by the way. 30 people watching me grind eggshells into my isopods. I hope you find this soothing. The isopods must. They're really lovely. They have like. You watch them and they obviously recognize each other. They're social animals and they interact with each other. And like the kids stick close to the big ones, and there's just something really nice about and really like stress relieving to watch them do their thing. And the giant cockroach is actually in this city, but I haven't seen her for a while. But she's out there. One interesting thing about these guys, you see, maybe they will have some boza. Nothing too much, just a drop. Wook, wook. They're already eating the eggshells. I can see it here. I don't think I can bring the camera to bear. But like there's one guy here that's just like started nibbling it already. Hmm. Cockroach uncle, says Ingram. Why are you so de-individualizing towards them? Don't you know their names? Well, if you want to keep tabs on these things' names, be my guest. So what I do is I go on these collecting trips to certain trees, and I just have like a bag of leaves. And to make life easier for them, I just go snip, snip. And this is like the most therapeutic thing in the world. Normally, I listen to a podcast, but now I'm making a podcast. So we have linden tree leaves. We got chestnut tree leaves and you really need to lay down dry leaves every now and then. Linden again. So I like it when there's like a crisp layer of leaves everywhere. And everybody's just happy. Quite a generous meal, to be honest, says Robotipi. Okay. By the way, what are you all doing on a Friday night if you're not outside yet? So, like, chestnut leaves they love, and linden trees have these seeds which have these fluttering leaves, and they go crazy about them. Like that's the first thing to go. I always noticed. I mean, here is one. They eat all around the veins, and it's reduced to like a really perfect looking skeleton. Their names are Giuseppe, Pepe, Pepe 2, Francis, Caterina, Cosaman Jr. Okay. It's Saturday morning in New Zealand. Just doing some digital paint. Ah, that's nice. Must be a nice night or day. Oh, they also love these leaves from magnolia trees, which is going to be hard to divide. So I always make a diagonal cut. Huh. And just lay it there. Huh. It's prime real estate. Because these also work as housing. They sleep under them. Just on bed looking at the stream. Well, what a perfect day or night for you. I'm organizing family pictures. I'm watching for a pose in the rain. Yeah, it's the rainy season, eh? Not much to go out for. Always stay indoor. This is literally Isopod 1984. I don't think many isopods are this lucky. I should have had a bigger, like, megalopolis Tupperware with, like, a far bigger surface area. Oh, we got a juicy one here. Juicy leaf. So which city would you like to live in? Rations have increased. So here's another trick. Cookie crumbs, they really love for some reason, but not excessively. But like if there's a light speckling, they eat them. Isopod 1984. Someone to shame us, someone to follow, someone to fool us, some brave Apollo, someone to feed us, someone like you. We love you, big brother. Do you know that song? David Bowie's 1984. He tried to do a musical, but George Orwell's estate didn't let him. So he turned it into a futuristic album, which was Diamond Dogs. What a lovely album. As they crawled you out of your oxygen tent, you asked for the latest party. With your elevator hump and your 10-inch stump. Dressed like a freak you was. Todd Browning's freak you was. Crawling down the alley on your hands and knee. I know you're not protected for this fantasy. The Diamond Dogs are poachers and they hide behind screens. Hunt you to the line, they will. Mannequins with kill appeal. That's still burned in my memory. So now I have some bark for them. So this gets snipped. In you go. Snip, in you go. Come out of the garden, baby. You'll catch your death in the fog. Young girl, dance, dance. They call them the Diamond Dogs. I hope nobody's bored. I mean, if I was in a little box surrounded by my family with infinite food, that's not a bad way to live, says Gnome's child. Yes. Are the isopods allowed to critique Big Brother Cosman? Yes, I think so. By the way, this is a great hobby. You should try it. Definitely not bored. Okay. Definitely. Like, it's just one Tupperware, some earth, and some of these boys. Like, you got the whole world to enjoy. Strongly recommended hobby. Today I couldn't take you on a Google street tour, but well, I'm showing you these cities instead, huh? Mm. So I have these like tiny chestnut leaves, which are like, why not make a tutorial to make an isopod colony? Yeah, it could be. Might be fun to share what I learned. I had some awful mistakes, like calcium was low and I suffered some mass deaths, but apparently without calcium they can't shed. And like, will you show us how to milk the isopods? No, you can do that yourself. Normally farm mammals and birds, but this winter it will be isopods. Good reason to make cookies. Will you make the cookies out of the isopods or what are they called? The cities. They remind me of Dome and Haviland. I don't know. I called the big one Istanbul, small one Ankara. That's that. Have you seen isopods eat dead isopods? Sometimes they don't do it as much as they could. In goes the bark. Do you remove the dead isopods? No, they don't have. I don't have mass deaths anymore, and I don't need to remove them. I think like they just remove themselves. Earthquake, millions that hope not. There's literally like thousands of them in these boxes. Like here's the underside of another house, for example. Deal, 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 deal. Well, anyways. Dun, 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 dun. Look, this city also has a. Oh no, where did it go? God damn. We have an escape situation now. What? Oh shit. Okay, come back. God damn. Hmm, there you go. Well, this city has a soldier bug, which I use as a population control agent. That was almost escaping me. Deportation. Do you worry if they escape and destroy your house? No, because I don't live in a cardboard American house. I've had a few escapes that I just find them later. They're like really the most harmless creature you can find. Where's the soldier spider? Well, these cities also had little spiders to protect the isopods from overpopulation, and they also ate the little flies that came into the fruit. But they just like in the summer they just moved away. I think because of the heat. Like literally, they like escaped from the air holes or like went into the soil. I don't know. I don't think isopods destroy houses anywhere. Like somebody just made that comment. I'm American. I did not build mine with cardboard. Well, I respect that. I mean, Americans, unlike people elsewhere, can and do get to build their houses too. That's a really great and cool thing about that, like the US. Some of the contractor built houses are really like badly built, to be honest, but probably not yours. What's the main difference in building materials for living space in Turkey versus USA? Turkey, we mostly live in apartments. The apartments themselves may have a garden or like maybe surrounded by greenery, which is healthy. But like single family dwellings are very rare. And if they're present in the like countryside. And the American suburb doesn't really exist in Turkey. So there's that. Mm, and wooden houses are very, very rare. Here in Brazil, we build houses out of bricks, so it may last 1,000 years. Yes, same story here. The problem is in earthquakes, they're very dangerous. MT says, I agree that contracted built houses are bad. Luckily, my dad's a carpenter who let me learn from him. Well, man, you're really lucky. First, to have a father who will teach you a trade. And in this economy, it's actually like really worth something. And yeah, Godspeed and like wish you and your dad all the success and good wishes, good wishes. So now we got some extra leaves in this here Migros bag. They're more like maple type trees I have. So I'm not going to be able to put all of them in because then it would just stuff them. But yeah, some maple type leaves can't hurt. I honestly don't know the name of this tree. Dun, 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 dun. By the way, all tomorrows is amazing. Thanks, says Arda. In Germany we build our houses out of titanium and diamonds. I think Germany is more. I don't know. I don't know. Some German cities have really nice, like especially East German city apartments. Maybe I'm romanticizing them, but they look really pretty and livable. And I think outside the cities, many Germans live in like family houses. So I don't know how that goes. Isn't there an All Tomorrow's reference in Smiling Friends? I think there is, the flesh cube people. Yeah, I'm just like I can't reach the keyboard to show you the reference, but yeah. You mean Comi Block, says Real Gaming. Yeah, but they're really well built. And not all of them are Comi blocks. Like, look, life in an apartment is all up to your neighbors. If you got good neighbors, you have like a really superlative life experience. I think neighbors matter more than, like, to a degree, the construction of the house. This very nice crunchy leaf here. Hmm. By the way, I always collect dry leaves from, like, either from the branches or, like, I don't collect them if they fell to the ground near the pavement because it's kind of gross. Sometimes there's like women's hair in, so it's crazy how much women's hair is present in, like, on sidewalks. So you pick up a leaf and you get a tangle of hair with it, and it's just gross. Mardi Mardi Mimti says, "I love you, bro." Well, thank you so much. I'm waiting for an All Tomorrow's reference in The Simpsons or Rick and Morty. Maybe one day. Hmm. Okay, few more leaves, then I think this task is done. Arda Kuch says, "I just said one thing, destroy your house, and the whole discussion about architecture erupted. Never mind, I love bugs then." Is Rick and Morty still going, says Gnome's Child. Yes, but meh. I like the first few seasons. But then apparently Justin Roiland, the creator, turned out to be like a really, like, abusive character. Like, and I'm not talking about like was like rude to a woman once, or like, no, he was actually like trapping his girlfriend in the apartment and like limiting her mobility, and like was also physically abusive too. And yeah, really turned out to be a piece of work, huh? Who could have seen that coming? What does the average day for an asteromorph look like? I don't know. What do you think it looks like? So I do this with my shivering hand, so all the leaves get like mixed in. Mm-hmm. So the rest of the bark and the eggshells, I'm going to just dump it in this big Migros bag. And then I dry that. And then, like, look, now they're like filled to the brim with leaves, okay? Literally packed with leaves. Remind me to check these in the next stream. I promise you, they like grind it down. It's crazy. They're very, very efficient eaters. That's one. Are they really going to eat it all? Well, you'd be surprised. They're going to eat it all and then some more. Just remind me on our next stream. Remind me to check the isopods, okay? This is like one of the nicest and like most pleasant hobbies anyone could have. I love these guys. Hop, whole world in a Tupperware jar. Look, as you can see, the activity has already begun in the city. Going fast and furious over there. You can't really see that on the camera, but there's like babies running around all over the place. So nice. It's been a bit dry actually. Let's make some rain in here too. So are you ready? Purple rain, purple rain. You see, I'm only watering one half because we want a moisture gradient. Like some parts should remain very dry and other parts can be wet so that the citizens can use their free will to choose and vote with their feet. If you soak everywhere, you're going to have trouble. Can CM Kozaman chop his hand off IRL to see if the isopods eat it? Not really. And I won't be able to draw or write. I wouldn't want anything to happen to my hands. Neither should you. So now we got our leaves separated. I'm gonna sprinkle in the eggshells. So I'm actually gonna like hang this bag to dry for a week. So when they're finished eating that bit, it's gonna be like ready and extra crispy. Good night, Sir Közemen, says Arda Kılıç. Gnome's child says, feed the isopods with somebody else's hand. Come on. If I chop my hand off and send it to you as isopod food, I would call the police. That's like, I mean, that's dedication, but I think your hand is more useful attached to your body. Anyways, I'm going to put the isopods back, and it's been 2 hours. Night flew by. Well, today was a more low-key and like laid-back stream, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to put the isopods back and actually slowly call it a night. Would they eat fingernails? Maybe. I mean, they eat pretty much everything. Like, they would eat fingernails because I had some bird skulls I found in my travels, and some of them still had like ligaments and like bits of skin attached. So I gave them to the isopods to clean them. And not only did they like eat all the leather and the extra skin. Wait, I will show you. Wait. So they cleaned all the bones, but like perfectly. And they also like disarticulated the jaw And normally there's a keratin covering on this beak. This is a crow skull, by the way. And they ate the keratin too. So I assure you, they will eat fingernails because they just remove the keratin sheet, and you have this like very delicate skull as a result. They did a very fine job. Like, look, even the like I don't know what these bones are called, but the jaw articulates here. Even those are fixed. You got the nerve holes that connect the eyes. You got the brain case. You got the optic nerve going inside the brain case, the two holes. And they eat the calcium too. Yeah, so apparently they eat some of the bones too, but I removed it before they could have much of an impact. You invented much more eco-friendly bone cleaning. I think dermestid beetles are used and they're friendly too. I don't know. I don't know what's so revolutionary about these guys. Oh no. I'm just playing with my crow skull and some small bone just fell out, but I have no idea where this belongs to. God. Oops. Well, okay. Maybe the isopods do a too good a job, huh? I'm gonna give the small bones to the isopods. They can take care of that. And just ground them into dust, actually. And I'm gonna put the crow skull away before I do more damage. Okay. Okay, everybody. Calcium, says Lexus Galavan. Yes, that's calcium. When I die, maybe I'll put my body to isopods. Look, you're gonna have isopods with you if you're buried, so don't worry about it, okay? How many isopods would it take to conquer Russia with minimal war crimes? I don't know, guys. I'm not really good with. I don't know. Give me 6 isopods, 6 well-placed isopods, and strategic depth and all that. All right, everybody. It's been 2 hours. This was a great night. 32 of you are die-hard fans, seeing that you're still watching me after all the insane ramblings and all that. It was lovely to chill out with you, says Bakara. Do you have a Kuhanim as a pet? No, maybe the mantis counts. Anyways, last comments and questions, or say good night, because I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for your lovely stream. Thank you, my friend, for joining. You made my Friday evening. Thanks, Fepas Russa. All right. Rest easy. Good night, says Onur. Rest easy, says Gnome's Child. Thanks for the stream. Take it easy. Save our names in a plate so you can forever remember us. Thank you. Wish me luck in my midterms. Good luck in your midterms, Robotipi. Thanks for teaching us to farm isopods. Good night, Mr. Kozeman. Good night, Ingram. Good night, Lucas. Good night, Maka. Good night, good night, good night. This has been CM Kozeman. Have some boza. Foti brew, good night. Flow zone, good night. Boom.